So, what's good, y'all? We was in like a little 2 week hiatus because it's a little bit of trouble getting myself here sometimes. That static's gonna drive me crazy, but that's besides the point. But how are you today, AVC? This is Double A Sports.
I am doing quite well, my friend. How are you today? I'm much more awake than our last time. Our last time here,
I'm
we
never
were
awake
very,
for this show.
we were
I'm
very
just
tired. We were very lethargic. I have much more energy today.
So it show's probably gonna run a little bit longer today because I do have a lot to talk about.
Where do we begin?
I don't know.
You know where I think we begin? With a question I will pose to you, actually.
What is that question?
We are obviously in the NBA playoffs. Which injury do you view more significant for the rest of the playoffs? Ja or Giannis?
Ja or Giannis? A team with 1-star power or a team with 2-star powers? I mean, they're both very crucial if you look at it from a standpoint of Ja Morant being the star point guard and probably the most dominant scorer in his team.
Keep going. I was trying to fix that static.
Anyways, being the most key dominant scorer to his team, as well as Giannis. But Giannis has a more substantial supporting cast that I would include too. You know what I'm saying? Having, you know what I mean? Like compared to Ja, where it's just him as that one player.
It's definitely a more experienced supporting cast, I think, with Middleton and Drew. I think really the question with it is that a lot of people didn't have Memphis winning the series even with Ja. But now, and nobody, I think, had the Heat beating the Bucks.
No.
But now with Giannis limited, and the one advantage that the Heat do have over the Bucks is coaching. Can Spoelstra fluke his way to a first-round upset?
Well, honestly, with Spoelstra, I'm not going to lie to you. Spoelstra is always able to do something or another where it causes him to get somewhere. But with this team, I mean, they lost one of their, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of their, like, off-the-bench heroes. If you get what I'm saying, that Tyler Hero, he didn't break his hand. But with everything that's going on right now, you never know. You definitely never know what's going to happen in the NBA playoffs. So, to add on to that, what a game that went down between Golden State and the Kings last night. What a game.
I cannot believe that Sacramento is providing the most excitement in this
bowling.
So
They're absolutely destroying it right now.
They are.
But Draymond, what are you doing?
And
really?
Nice little coup de grace. My boy, DeMontis.
Oh, and he said this. What he said? He said, boom, right in his chest. I was like, yo, he hit the stomp yard on him. He hit the stomp yard. Like, and Draymond's like, oh, it's the second time my leg got caught. Dude, you literally lifted up your leg and you made it so. It's one thing to get away with it, or at least try to, but he made it so obvious what he was doing. Like, come on.
Now, how much of you think Draymond's reputation plays into this? Because if it was any other player, would we really think as harshly about it, or is it mainly because it's Draymond?
I don't know. I really don't know, because to be fair, like, Draymond is, I really think he deserves to be, like, out of the playoffs. Like, he does not deserve a spot to play, because the nonsense he just pulled in that was absolutely outrageous.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, like, you are an NBA player. You have to hold yourself to a standard where it's going to be like, all right, you pick and choose your battles. If he got in your face, that's one thing. He grabbed onto your leg. Don't stomp on him. You can at least fall to the ground and make it a flop and receive the foul where he gets attacked, but you get ejected for that. And you're honestly the heart of the Warriors defense, because Steph don't play defense.
He also runs that offense a lot. He is the
prime playmaker.
Playmaker.
Yes, he's a screen setter.
Exactly. He is the catalyst of that offense.
He's like one of the low-key dark horses catalysts of that team.
He is.
Wholeheartedly. Like, if you look at it from a standpoint of, if you see who's setting the screens, who's making the passes, who's making the outlet passes, who's getting people open, it's Draymond Green.
It's been said before, but I will agree with it. The second most important player during that Warriors dynasty, outside of, we're going to exclude Kevin Durant from this, of the actual core, is Steph and Dre.
And Clay.
Clay is also very, but he's number 3, I believe, to Draymond.
For scoring, no. For playmaking, yes.
I just don't think the Warriors are the same team without Draymond.
No. Definitely not.
Whereas I think not that Clay isn't important, but you could get a slight downgrade of a version of Clay, and you'd probably still play at a similar level.
500 threes this season? No.
Probably
like
not.
that? No.
But
you can't sleep on Clay. But besides that point, Draymond, I don't know what they honestly give Draymond a less of an ordeal than John Morant in this situation. I don't know what to say on that because this man literally like stomped his chest in, bro. Like he
did.
I don't know what to say to that. But tonight I'm tuned in. Knicks, I'm all in with y'all. I'm all in with y'all right now.
The Knicks, it's exciting. Do you know this is the first time since the 90s where the New York Rangers, New York Islanders, New Jersey Devils,
besides the Jets.
Besides the Jets, you're correct. Where every single New York team made the playoffs.
You said Jersey Devils.
They consider the New Jersey Devils a metro area team.
We don't jack Jersey over here, okay?
Oh yeah, and that's the Rangers Devils tonight, game 1 of that series.
Who cares?
I do very much. You know me, I'm a big
hockey fan. That's tragic, but like we're talking about basketball. You talking
we will talk about basketball on this show. It is your show.
It is my show.
It is your
Finally my show.
It is your show.
Long due time for this to be my show. Before I was sitting in your spot, now I'm sitting in my own spot that my name is written off. But anyways, let's get back to the regular schedule program. What are you looking forward to seeing this playoff series? I've been talking a lot about playoffs. You know how I feel.
So Knicks Cavs is what you're saying in this series?
I'm talking about in general. Like, what do you want to see?
General.
What do you want to see? Oh, did you hear one defensive player of the year?
I did not. Who?
Jaren Jackson Jr.
He did do a solid job trying to compensate without Ja. It is not going to be enough. But I think
if he was more mobile, he would be a serious problem because he can shoot the three. He could play on the inside. He could shoot a little bit, and he could also play make. If he was more mobile, a little bit faster, lightened up, and toned up a little bit more, he would be a lethal problem to the league, 100%.
You know, I think he's in a territory where he can become a second best player. But I think you're right. He needs a little bit more off ball. He needs a little bit more.
He already is a second option if you're not looking at Desmond Bane, because I'm not going to lie. One thing I'll say about Desmond Bane, no matter what game you're watching, he will always give you points.
I feel like it's a 2A, 2B type thing.
Definitely. But you know what got me mad when I was watching that Grizzlies game?
Tell me.
So y'all wait 16.7 seconds to put in the G League's MVP. You know who that is, right?
I do not actually.
Kenny Lofton Jr.
Kenny Lofton. Oh God.
Do you not remember what he did?
I did not watch his G League performance this year. No.
The first game he dropped 40 in the NBA.
Well, that might be why so many people in my fantasy league picked him up during
40.
Yeah, that would do it.
40-7. He's not a skinny boy.
No, he's a chunky boy.
Yeah, he's chunky, and he's still getting buckets. You guys don't want to play him? Come on.
Especially with Steve Adams out in the front court.
Ja took the injury, so y'all should have said, let's throw you out there. Let's see what you can do. I would have much rather to see Kenny Lofton put in a little bit of pain a little bit and see what we can get. But let's also see what other playoff teams are looking at tonight, because I was looking at before the show. I don't know Knicks.
So we've got Knicks Cavs, we got Hawks Celtics, and we've got Clippers Suns.
I want to see calamity. So I want to see the Hawks win tonight. I want to see calamity.
I think that team is just dead right now.
Of course it's dead, but we have to have hope. I want to see them win one game.
They need a shakeup badly. It's getting to it might be time to trade Trae Young time.
Yeah, they definitely do. But like honestly, he had his run.
He did. He had his. He had.
I don't know
shot.
what team I see him on. I really don't. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You know, he is an interesting piece where he is similar to Steph in a sense, where he's a one who puts up a lot of points, but doesn't provide much else. He doesn't provide much defense. He's an okay playmaker, but he can hold the ball a little too long sometimes.
Oh, he does. Yes. Red foul.
So, if I had to pick a team for him. If it was a contending team, a team that could actually make the playoffs by adding him,
You gonna say something stupid?
maybe a team like Chicago, who's just kind of lost its identity right now. Maybe now I'll take your take on this. Maybe, just maybe, Brooklyn. Maybe Brooklyn. I had a feeling that might happen. He just walked out of his own show. My reasoning is you have the defensive parts covered. You have Bridges, you have Clax, maybe even you have Ben. My point is more so.
Excuse yourself.
Am I getting kicked off the show?
You're getting kicked off the show. Take a lap. You said Ben Simmons playing defense. You don't even when's the last time he stepped on the court?
I don't even know.
Take a lap. Andrew, take a lap.
I'm gonna go take a lap.
Take a lap.
I'm gonna go take a lap. I'll be back, guys.
Take a lap. This man said Ben Simmons playing defense. He don't even play the game. After KD and Kyrie left, where's he been? Nowhere. No, meaning walk in and walk out, which you just did. So come back. You just said Ben. When's the last time you seen him play? When KD and Kyrie left. Let me know.
I honestly can't tell you. I really don't know.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
My point being, remove the Ben Simmons argument. My point being, the Nets need a primary ball handler and a primary scorer. And they're in a weird spot
they
where
have a primary scorer.
Who, Cam Thomas?
You might have to take another lap. Are you trying to do this to spite me right now?
A little bit, yes.
Do you know who the real primary scorer is, right?
Please enlighten me.
Mikal Bridges. He's our leading scorer.
I know. And I really do like Mikal Bridges. But he cannot be your best player.
Cam Thomas hasn't played one game in this playoff series. He hasn't played for the past 10 games.
I meant going forward. If we're talking
if they don't have any faith in Cam Thomas now, why are they going to have faith in Cam Thomas when the future comes? He's going to be, honestly, I hate to break it to everybody that's a Nets fan, he's going to be a key piece in trade value. That's what he's going to be.
So then use him to get Trae Young. You get Trae Young.
I don't want that fraud on my team. I do not.
Well, what else are you going to do?
Honestly, I'd rather just watch them suffer. I'm not going to lie.
Not again.
Tank and see what we can
Not again.
Maybe we can get Mikey
I don't
Williams.
even think you have your picks, though. I think the Rockets still have the protections on your
we
picks.
need to get Mikey Williams. He's a felon. We'll take him.
Lord.
Yeah, we'll take a felon on my team.
You know what? Get him and Miles Bridges on the team.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, both Bridges and Mikey Williams on the team. Go for
Prison NBA League team.
Prison Nets.
Oh yes, a Prison Nets. I love it. I adore it. I love it. And we pray for times like this. I'm not gonna lie to you, but anyways, what do you want to see come out of the East? Now that you know what key pieces are really leading up to, who you want to see come out the East for the first round?
For the first round?
Yeah, first round.
I don't know. See, here's the thing. It's tricky with the Knicks because I don't know if I want them to win because it's New York and I want a New York team to win.
I want them to win.
You know, it's always really funny seeing Knicks fans when they lose.
No, I want them to win the series.
Tell me.
I want the Jazz to realize what they did. I want them to realize you should have gave them Donovan Mitchell, but no, you gave him to Cleveland. So I want Cleveland to get like that out of there. I don't hate Cleveland. I love Darius Garland.
I don't have a problem with honestly either team. I think both teams are relatively likable. I am a fan of Jalen Brunson, so I will be hoping that the Knicks come out of that. I mean, Philly's gonna beat the Nets. I would love to see the Nets upset Philly. They'd be hysterical. They won't. Rivers won't pull a Doc Rivers until later in the playoffs. Boston's gonna beat Atlanta. That's easy. And you know me, I'm still riding with my deer. I hope Giannis comes back and the Bucks can push through the Heat and hopefully make a run at the title because that is who I want to win.
Bucks are the best team in the East, and I'm not gonna lie to you. We gotta speak on this too. I do not want to see Jokic three-peat. I do not. I simply do
Oh,
not.
as MVP? Nah.
No.
I think Embiid's the right choice this year.
Honestly, I'd rather give it to Giannis before I give it to.
They're just Giannis already has the MVP fatigue. They don't want to give it to Giannis anymore.
He's top 3.
MVP is such a strange
He's top
award.
3.
He is, but MVP is such a strange award because realistically, the MVP has been won by the wrong person. I think more times over the last like 10, 15 years than it's been won by the right person.
But the thing is, sometimes when it's the wrong person, it's the right person. To be fair, what would you rather see? LeBron win in 2010? No, it was 2013. It was 2013. Or you rather see D Rose win? I think D Rose.
But see, that's the thing. Is it like a fan vote award, or is it a popularity award?
It's a popularity
is
league
it
award. It's a league.
So it's a popularity award.
A league popularity award.
League popularity award.
League.
Okay.
So the league likes, and it's also like Woj, Shams, like those
yeah, it's the reporters who vote on it. Yeah.
Yes, it's also and it's mostly who Adam Silver like is like, all right, this is what I want to win. So who gets the final say? But like, to be fair, like Shams, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't hate Shams, but Shams always be like, I can't say this. That's low rated off a PG show. He kind of be munching. That's what he be munching on certain players. Like, oh my god, he's so good. Like, bro, relax yourself. No, there's certain people in that do. What is this man looking at me like that for? Anyways, besides the point. Yeah, he just walked past. There's certain players in the league that just more or less that people just be like, oh my god, he's so good. Like the stats, this, that, and third. Jokic has been doing the same exact thing for the past 3 years, and his team has gotten nowhere. They have not been to the chip. They've had no playoff push. They had playoff pushes. No, excuse me on that one, but they haven't done anything with it. Respectfully,
I mean, the problem with the MVP, it's a regular season award. You really shouldn't count playoffs in it at all. It is a regular
season award, but like let's call it like it is. When Giannis won MVP, what happened? They won the chip.
Yep.
When LeBron won MVP, what happened? He won the chip.
Mm-hmm.
When D Rose made it to Eastern Conference Finals, faced LeBron.
When Steph won it, I believe they went to the chip. I believe that was the year they lost. He won
2 out of 3 times.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3 times went to finals. He won. Anytime, because really think about it, right? If you're gonna be the most valuable player and you're on a winning team, you're gonna take that team to the finals. He has not done that once. He has no playoff. He has no playoff experience. He has no final experience whatsoever at all. Jokic, great player, phenomenal playmaker, phenomenal scorer, all of that. But what I'm saying is, you cannot be an MVP and not take your team nowhere.
Is that really on Jokic though, or is that on the Nuggets?
You have a point, but not you. Are you understanding what I'm saying now?
I completely understand your argument, but the counter argument to that is, who do you really blame that on?
Last year, I blame it on them because not only did he win MVP, his coach also won Coach of the Year.
Yeah. Denver is a team that's it's built for the regular season. They are just a team that's built for the regular season. They put up a lot of points. They don't turn the ball over a ton. They have fast, athletic guys who don't take a lot of nights off. So they win a lot of games. But come playoff time, we thought a while ago that Jamal Murray could be that second star next to Jokic. He just hasn't been the same since.
Hold on. He was. You know where? The bubble.
Yep.
But
when he was dueling with Donovan Mitchell.
But one thing I will say, once he hit that injury, but one player that was very shocked to come off an injury and actually be very, very good to that team, very substantial, has to be Michael Porter Jr.
I'm always pleasantly surprised by Michael Porter Jr. I was not on the hype train for him for a long time.
Missouri, he was nice. On Missouri, he was definitely nice.
To me, he seemed. I saw the second coming of Danilo Gallinari for the Nuggets.
Get out. The thing again, I'll give you this. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I've been watching him since high school, so it's been different. When he was playing AAU, you have to realize he played AAU with Trae Young, Donovan Mitchell, I believe. That whole entire rookie draft class, I was top 10. He played on the same AAU team as them.
Can I imagine pulling up to an AAU game and those dudes are your opponents?
I'd cry. I would literally
knowing
cry.
You're just going to be a part of somebody's highlight tape.
Literally, I'd cry. No, honestly the most disgusting player in AAU history. even though he does not play right now, and honestly, the Pelicans need to get rid of him, is Zion. Zion is disgusting in high school.
I still find it funny when, with the whole thing with the Duke decision so Zion, what was it? It was Reddish recruited, Trey Jones recruited Reddish. Reddish recruited Barrett, and then Barrett recruited Zion. And they all kind of just decided, hey, you guys just want to take a year and just go nuts in college together?
Yeah.
Sure. Why not? And I think, honestly, because Zion had considered it, what if the NIL was a thing? I think, first of all, Zion would have made bank. First of all,
he made more than Andrew Reese, what she makes right now.
Oh, he would have made absolute bank. But the other thing was, I think they might have stayed an extra year.
Oh, 100%.
Because Zion almost did stay an extra year.
His mom said no.
His mom and Coach K talked him out of staying another year. Coach K told him to go to the league.
Should he have stayed another year, though? I think so.
They would have won a natty for sure.
Not even that. More or less the developmental and being ready for because his body, he was ready for the league mentally, yes?
Yes.
But his body was not.
I almost wonder if the counter argument is that, with his style of play, he's a guy that's going to have a short prime. Is it better to get into the league early and try to get that paycheck?
I think he would have prolonged his prime if he would have stayed in college for next year because he would have been built for it.
I also think he could have developed more of a game. Because he really didn't have a game coming out of college. He was just kind of an athletic freak, and he played bully ball on most teams. I mean, for Duke, he was like their center a lot of times.
He played the 5 a lot.
Which you knew he wasn't going to do that in the NBA.
No, he's too small. He's like 6'6".
Yeah. I mean, he's got hyper athleticism. He's essentially Miles Bridges meets what Aaron Gordon was supposed to be.
He is Miles Bridges and prime Blake Griffin.
Yeah, okay, Blake, that was who I couldn't think of. Yes, Zion really was the second coming of Blake Griffin.
He was, just a more athletic and smaller version.
Yeah.
That man is a freak.
He is.
And
I really rooted for him too. I thought it was cool. I wonder, now this is one of the biggest what ifs in NBA history. What if the Knicks had actually won the lottery that year? And Zion was in New York?
Does that include RJ being there?
No, RJ in this scenario would be in New Orleans.
There was still either way no team built around him.
I just wonder how that would have changed that offseason. I don't think KD and Kyrie still would have gone to the Nets. But obviously they wouldn't go for Julius Randle if they had just brought in Zion.
Actually, I don't know.
You think that might have been enough to bring in
KD and
Kyrie?
Oh, yeah, because they would have had an actual 4 that plays defense and actually can score. That would have been like the most ideal mold to build around a team right there, in my opinion, to have Zion there with them.
And actually what's interesting is the rumor was at the time, if you remember, that the Knicks had at one point considered trading the number 1 overall pick and Zion to New Orleans for Anthony Davis at the time, which I think would have been ludicrous considering.
Hey, Disney. Hey, I break. My arm. You saw the first game?
Yep.
He said, oh, my arm. Nobody touched him, though.
I will say, though, if AD and LeBron are healthy, they can make a run. That's a big if. That's a big if.
I don't want them to.
I don't really want them to either, but they're too talented not to if they're both healthy. AD is still a phenomenal player when he's healthy. The dude just can't stay healthy.
No, one thing I will say about I don't want to hear all these LeBron fans. Oh my God, he made to the finals again. He's 38, bro. He's 38, bro. No, I don't want to hear that, bro.
I don't even think he's the best player on the team anymore. I think when he's healthy, Anthony Davis is the best player on that team, to be honest. Do I have to go take another lap?
No, but I may have my things against LeBron. Anthony Davis will always be a fraud to me because he can never stay healthy. But LeBron, on any given night, is giving you 20 plus. AD, when he's healthy, will not give you 20 plus. So when he feels like giving you 20 plus. So when LeBron's like, dude, what are you doing?
It's true. Bron's just different. He is just. I will say, as much as I'm not a fan of Bron personally, even though he just annoys me a little bit. I like to boo him. I like to boo LeBron. I like to dislike LeBron. I had a similar thing with Brady. I respected the hell out of Tom Brady, but I liked to boo him. I liked to root against him.
I never hated Brady. My team did what they needed to do against Brady, and that's all I got.
When your team has to deal with what Brady did to us in 2016.
You hate to see it. It couldn't be my team though. 2 rings.
I was
baby.
rooting for those Giants in those years
2
too.
rings, baby. 2
I was rooting for the Giants
2
those 2
rings.
years
What you
too.
got? What you got? Hold that. Egg. What, them scrambled or fried? Oh yeah, you guys.
Speaking of the Giants,
no, we're not speaking on this. We're not speaking on this. I know where you're going. You want to talk about Saquon, but I'm not speaking on it.
that was what I was going to bring up. Yes.
No.
We don't want to talk about Saquon?
No. I'm upset.
He wants his money, though.
I don't care. I don't care. They better pay him. They better pay him. Leave his whole organization in
He
dust.
wants his money, and Dexter Lawrence wants his money, the catalyst of that whole defense.
The Giants are breaking my heart.
But we paid Daniel Jones.
You keep speaking on some, make you take another lap, Andrew. This is my show. This is my show.
I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine.
Yep.
That we are in such a busy time. This is the busiest time of the year in sports. This window that we're in right now. You have NBA playoffs.
If the Giants are fine, then Timothy Lalu-Carabaro is a good basketball player. Okay. Okay. No, we're not fine.
You got Darren Waller.
I don't care about him. He's nice, but he's not Saquon. Saquon is a man amongst legends. He's like that.
I believe Saquon will be back because he's not getting a long-term deal from another team. You can always bring in Zeke.
Take a lap.
Worth it.
Take a lap.
Worth it.
Take a lap. He said Zeke Elliott. Take a lap. This man is outrageous, bro. He's on a roll today. Ezekiel Elliott. Have you lost your mind, bro? Have you actually lost your mind, bro? Have you lost your mind? Like Ezekiel Elliott? His prime is long past him. He'd rather wear nose rings and be half shirtless. Ezekiel Elliott. Yeah, okay. Yep. We're done talking about the Giants. We're done. We're absolutely done. But hold on. I know you heard about this. Ashraf Hakimi, the soccer player, he's a genius. You know what I'm talking about?
Enlighten me.
So I know you probably heard about his rape allegations.
I did.
So his wife filed for divorce.
Not shocking.
And she went to the court to go through with it, right? And she wanted half of his salary.
Yep.
He's one of the highest paid right backs in the French league.
So that would be a large sum of money.
It ain't.
Really?
His mom owns 80%.
Oh, he pulled the old my parents get all my money trick.
The thing is, his mom has been holding on to that money since he got into the league.
If you trust your parents, that's genius.
She's in Morocco. What is she going to do with that money? Morocco's already got a lump sum amount of money. You know what I'm saying?
If you trust your parents, this has been a loophole that I actually just learned about this in my business law class. That a lot of people now are using to avoid forfeiting assets in divorce.
Gronk did it.
Yep.
But Gronk, I don't see Gronk getting married anytime soon. Because Gronk's a party animal. My point of
Isn't he dating that blonde girl?
I think so.
The one that he's on commercials with sometimes?
I think so. But Hakimi really just pulled the trigger. Because, A, he's not playing soccer right now. He can't because there's allegations against him.
Right.
So he literally said, so you know what's going to happen now? He only owns 20% of his salary.
20%.
Which is nothing.
No, compared to probably what he's making.
So guess what? The wife has to do now. She has to pay him. She has to pay him. She said, bring me my money. She has to pay for the divorce lawyers, the divorce trial, the divorce papers.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now, speaking of recent financial news, now I'm assuming you know that Dan Snyder is on his way out as owner of the Washington Commanders.
I don't care.
One of the worst owners in football is finally on his way out.
Yeah, you know who's going to buy it? Jeff Bezos.
No, actually. So Snyder has a huge issue with Bezos. He refuses to sell to him. The first rumored buyer is actually Josh Harris, who is the guy who owns the Sixers and the Devils. He came in with an offer of around $6.5 billion for the franchise. Now news has come out that there is a new offer, or there is another offer, I should say, from, well, this other guy for almost $8 billion.
Whom is?
I'm looking up his name right now because I'm blanking on it.
Is he important?
Well, it would be interesting because he would be the first black owner in the history of the NFL if he was to get it.
Okay, that's kind of important.
I'm
sorry. Commanders though, because Commanders is whack.
Oh, but it gets even better. Hold on, because here comes the nightmare part for the NFL. I'm trying. I need to. I'm just one moment here. Let me just find this. Here's the article. Okay, Brian Davis is the guy's name. He has put in a $7 billion bid. I'm sorry, so it's seven. Oh, it's total with other payments, $8 billion. $7 billion for the franchise, another $1 billion as compensation for Snyder to bail him out from any of his legal troubles and all liability from the team. The interesting part is where the money is coming from, because Snyder Johnson has been. I'm sorry, what did I say his name was? Davis. Sorry, Brian Davis has been very cagey about that. So I did a little digging on it, using some different sources. The money appears to be coming from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, similar to the the same people who bankroll Live Golf. One of the British Premier League teams. Is it Manchester? Which one is owned by the Saudis?
I want to say City, but I don't.
Is it Manchester City?
I think it's City.
I think it's Manchester City.
Hold on, let me look up.
But anyway, this puts the NFL in the ultimate moral quandary, because the backlash that you get as an American sports league for dealing with the Saudis is always massive for multiple reasons and multiple justifiable reasons. Newcastle they own. Okay. So you always get backlash from dealing with them because they have a history of being a dictatorial, human rights violating regime.
Newcastle.
But they have so much money. Here's the thing, though. You now have a black owner backed by Saudi Arabia. If the NFL agrees to let him buy the Commanders, you now have an American sports franchise in America's flagship sport owned by Saudi Arabia.
You think Roger Goodell's going to let that happen?
But here's the thing, though. How will this be construed in the media? Because it's not completely official that it's backed by Saudi Arabia. That's the assumption. That's what it seems like. But they haven't proved it yet. If they don't entirely prove it, and they sell the team to a white guy for less money than what a black owner put up, the ultimate media nightmare for the NFL happens.
Oh, of course. But
you put yourself
this way.
It's a lose-lose.
But NFL has always been a lose-lose when it comes to controversy like that.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like, can you really be mad if it's gonna happen or not? No, because it's always has been. Roger Goodell puts his foot down. It does not happen. If it's not what he wants, it's not happening.
Ownership is weird. It requires a say-so from Goodell plus 60% of owners need to approve you. And it costs so much money nowadays to buy an NFL franchise. We're talking about $6 billion. And this $7 billion, this is how you think it's lined up with Saudi. Davis is offering this $7 billion in cash. $7 billion in cash up front. Not a payment over multiple years.
Liquid?
Liquid. $7 billion liquid.
No.
There are maybe 5 to 6 people and corporations on the planet that could offer that kind of money up front.
He's selling drugs.
He's selling Saudi Arabia.
No, he's selling drugs.
That's all that oil money in Saudi.
He's selling drugs. He's moving weight.
I don't think you're making that much drugs.
He might be the biggest kingpin. $7 billion liquid is crazy. It's so crazy.
That is insane.
I don't think people understand. $7 billion in equity of liquid is insane. Like,
I don't even know if Bezos has $7 billion liquid that he could spend. He might be one of the only other people who might have.
Bezos definitely does, but like you never really hear Jeff Bezos speak about his money, what he got, what he doesn't have, because he's more or less a private dude. but like he definitely has that
But
liquid.
there are so few people on the planet because that's more than
filthy.
most governments have.
That's filthy. Like that's dirty work. That's nasty work right there. 7 billion liquid.
I mean, Dan Snyder, somehow one of the worst owners in NFL history, is going to end up making out like a bandit from this whole thing. He's going to leave in controversy, go back to his yacht, and get billions of dollars.
Yeah. He's living his best life, but at the end of the day,
he bought the team for about $350 million.
How long has he been owning that team for?
Over 10 years. I want to say at least 10 to 15, 20 years.
So as long as I've been alive, okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's about right. Because 350 million when we were alive was like that was buku money.
That was a huge amount of money.
That was a buku money.
But now with the way sports franchises have appreciated,
across
everybody who
all
sells, I don't know as an owner, unless you're a guy with a severe love of sport or the team is your cash cow, I don't know how you don't consider selling, depending on what you bought it for.
Depends, because honestly, I'm looking at it from a standpoint of this, right? I'm a sports owner. I'm looking to see what guy that's willing to buy my team that has the most teams. If he's working with an NBA team, an MLB team, an NHL team, a Premier League team, any type of team that he has, and like a lot of like across like all sports, I'm looking to see what she's gonna make me. Because if you think about it, right, if he's giving away a share to you, and you're gonna make money off of that share, you're getting a whole bunch of money. Not because now he's not gonna know what he's doing across all sports. Let's say, for instance, you're the New York Knicks, right? You're selling your team.
So Dolan's selling the Knicks in this scenario.
I'm saying Dolan, right?
Yep.
Let's say I'm looking at a guy, right? And he's gonna tell me he's gonna put everything on the Knicks. Like he's gonna put everything. He's gonna equally distribute across all teams that he owns. And he's gonna offer me, let's say, like what, $7 billion? Not even liquid, it's $7 billion, right? So think about it. When you sign that contract, you're getting $7 billion. And I don't know what your contract entails, but let's say you're still getting some of that cash that he's making off the team as a part of the requirement, a part of the deal.
So you're selling, let's say, 80% of the team.
Yes. I'm looking at that aspect. That's still on my 20%. So you're making money off of revenue, and you're bringing in people, and you're bringing in better players, and the team is getting better. I'm looking at still at least 80%. I don't want to get rid of the whole entire team because yes, you're getting money, like you're getting the sale off the team, but I still want my 20%. I'm greedy.
I don't even think you need 20%. You can keep like 5%, and you'll still make a ton of money.
If he says 95-5, then all right, fine. But at least try to make it 80-20. That's the best.
That's the big thing about the Snyder thing was he bought out all the minority owners before he decided to sell the team.
Oh.
He bought out all the minority owners, so he is selling the entire team. That's why he's in that $7 billion range.
Yeah, the team is trash.
It's a mediocre team in a bad facility run by a bad organization for a long time.
I feel bad for Chase Young. I really do.
I do. I feel bad for Chase Young. I used to feel bad for Kirk Cousins. I feel bad.
Kirk Cousins is doing
he's doing all right now. I felt bad for RG3 when he got drafted into that organization.
His career ended short because of that.
It did. I feel bad for Alex Smith, who almost had his career ended on that field.
I forgot he existed.
I feel bad for Trent Williams, one of the best left tackles who was on that team before he got traded to the Niners, who, this is a true story. Trent noticed a bump on his head coming into training camp.
He had a concussion.
No, not quite. It was the Redskins at the time. It's the Commanders now. The Washington medical staff told him it was nothing, and he didn't bother to get it checked for a while. He ended up going to a private doctor because his girlfriend at the time was worried about him. Private doctor confirmed it was a tumor. It was slow-growing cancer on his head.
Fire panda!
Oh, this isn't even the worst part. So he had the surgery to get it removed. Thankfully, they caught it early enough. Washington, when he came back for his physical and couldn't pass it because he just had major surgery, withheld the year's signing bonus from him. They took his guaranteed money because he couldn't pass his physical.
Wrap this up. We're done talking about this. We're done.
So thank God Dan Snyder is on his way out of the NFL. Let's just leave it at that.
Crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Like, I can't even put my whole 2 senses and thoughts into that. Like, a man had cancer, and he's like, "Oh yeah, he's fine. Yeah, just play the game. We need you." No, just wrapping this up. we're wrapping this up, and we're going to talk about a little bit of soccer while the time I have been. Because Andrew, when I stop talking, you can take the floor and say whatever you want.
Be my guest.
So, Champions League just took place today, and Chelsea, you're trash. Once again, you're trash. I'm tired of all these Chelsea fans. I'm not gonna lie, my roommate has rubbed off on me. I'm kind of an Arsenal fan. I'm kind of not. But Chelsea, you cannot be going around here talking about, oh yeah, bro, we're gonna be number one real soon. Every year you guys are in this. And tell me, I said this the last show, Andrew. A player went through. He's been injured all season. And every time he's came back for a game or so, he's had 4 different managers. And guess what place they're in the league?
I'm gonna imagine near the top.
They're 11th.
Oh, never mind. They suck.
They're about to get relegated.
Oh God.
Yes.
That's not good.
No.
That's
no. Bad. They might get relegated. My team is just as trash, but like, bro, at least we're in the top 10.
Now, how do you deal with that as a player? You sign a big contract, let's say, to play for a team.
Let me tell you.
You get relegated.
Let me tell you. So Raheem Sterling, right? One of my favorite players of all time. Oh, not all time. He's one of my favorite players that plays in the Prem right now. Because he played for my team, Liverpool, back when I was like 13, 14, around that age, right?
Right.
So he leaves Liverpool, broke my heart. He went to Man City, won the Champions League, broke my heart. Then he leaves Man City when Holland joins the scene and goes to Chelsea. Imagine you sign. Let me see what his deal was.
But that's one thing about Euro sports. That's crazy. Is you sign a big contract to play for a team, and then you get relegated because of the team record. Like in baseball, for example, you can get sent down to the minors for not playing well. Same thing in like hockey. You can get sent down to the minors for being bad as a player. But even as a player, if you're balling out, but your team is bad, and you get relegated as a team, like, that's just crazy.
He signed a 5-year deal for $66 million. So till 2028. No, 2027, 2028.
Now, as someone who is a novice when it comes to soccer knowledge, what is the process of getting back up from relegation?
So it's pretty much what happens is every year in soccer, right? At least for the Premier League or any other league, right? So you have your top table teams, which is your 1 through 8. I'm pretty sure. If I'm not, it's like NBA kind of a little bit, not too much. So after once you're under, right? Once you get brought bottom under, I'm pretty sure there's like a little thing where the players will fight to see who gets relegated and who doesn't get relegated, and the team that loses the whole entire thing will get relegated, right? So they'll get relegated. And then a team from down below. So there's EFL 1, which is like the league under Premier League, right?
Yes.
Whoever wins that championship will have the team to go back up.
Okay, so basically, if you're in the lower league, you win the chip, you get back up. And if you're the worst team in Premier, you get sent down.
Like Nottingham Forest, I didn't even know they existed because I'm sort of a novice, kind of not in soccer, because like my roommate was telling me like, Nottingham Forest has a great history in the Premier League. I'm like, since when? I looked it up. Nottingham Forest was actually filthy back in the day. So what I found out, because Nottingham Forest has not been in the Prem for years. They're back in the Prem this year. I'm like, wow, where has this team been?
I will say, again, as someone who's not as big into European sports as I am American, that is a very intriguing concept because it keeps the league incredibly fresh. You see a new team every year.
Depending.
I mean,
because let's say you do get relegated. Let's say, for instance, let's say Burnley, who just got pulled up to the Prem, gets relegated next year. And Chelsea comes back. You do see a new team that keeps fresh, but you really
you might get a bounce back and forth because it's just
there's always going to be in soccer that you're going to know that's going to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like that's going to mesh together. The reason why Chelsea's so bad, they don't really have a true striker. They have if soccer works, you have your 2 wingers, your center forward striker, your midfield, and your defense. They never had a true striker. João Felix is still young. He just came over from Atletico Madrid. They're still a very young team with a very young core, and they're still trying to figure things out.
Now, do players tend to go to teams that have been relegated and try to come back up on the come up, or do they tend to avoid relegated teams?
So it's weird. So there's some players, right, that will go to teams that are like, let's say you're 16, 17, right? You're playing for like the U18 club. You're already on that team. Like, you're already on that team. There's some teams that also have the same, like, let's say you're like they'll be owned by the same people. So let's say you play for one squad, you're going to the next one. So let's say, honestly, if I'm a soccer player, I'm going to go to a relegated team like in a league below. I'm gonna work my way up, and then after I'm already in the prem, I'm gonna try to leave and go somewhere else. If that's just me, I'm gonna go to a lower team so I can actually get the starlight and like the shine. Like let's say you go to let's say for instance you're in the NBA or in the NFL, you want to go to a trash team where you can build up your name and stuff and go to a better team. That's just me personally. So a lot of players will go to like that are just starting out will either start out very young and go to that team and be a star, be a baller, or they'll start out really low and go to a trash team. But Chelsea, one thing I'll tell you, guess how many signings they had this year?
5, 4.
It's a double digit.
Oh,
number.
13. Oh. Talk about a bad free agency.
No. They signed people from the beginning of the summer all the way to the World Cup.
Oh, so just a bad season.
Yes. Yes. They signed Argentina players that won the World Cup. Yeah, you're in silence because you're just like, wow.
I don't know how to comprehend that.
Like young stars. Like they signed Enzo.
Then why are they so bad?
I don't know. I really don't know.
The 4 manager thing gives me a hint, but why are they so bad?
But Man City looking kind of nasty. I don't know if you heard how many goals Haaland has this year.
45.
45 goals. And this is first year in England. First year in England. That is crazy. I really think this man has a possibility to go down as one of the greatest of all time. Arguably. He's still very young. You still got that French terrorizer known as Kylian Mbappe. Everybody knows who Mbappe is. Mbappe is a filthy man. He knows what he's doing on the pitch. So it's like, I really want to see where this is going to go. Who's going to win Champions League? But Napoli, my Italians, you broke my heart today. How you let AC Milan do that to you? How? I was really rooting for y'all. Victor Osimhen, Raspador, like, come on, man. But hey, it's okay. Man City's got me. But Andrew, before we wrap this show up, do you have anything else you want to touch base upon or you want to speak your mind about? The floor is yours.
I appreciate that. As I mentioned, very busy time in the sports world. We have 2 weeks, or less than 2 weeks actually,
the draft,
till the NFL draft,
Day
which
my mom's birthday.
is one of my biggest topics usually. I released my first mock draft on Insta a few weeks ago. I will release another one as we get closer, and I might be doing some pods with some other people, so I'll keep you updated on that. But the big thing is with the Carolina Panthers trading up, it's which quarterback goes first. Is it CJ Stroud? Is it Bryce Young? Is Anthony Richardson going to go in the top 10?
I think Bryce Young's definitely going in the top 10.
Bryce Young should go in the top 10. A lot of teams like Bryce Young. He has the pedigree. It's the height. That he's 5'9", 196, I think. To put that in perspective, I am 5'9", 194. Now, I am not Bryce Young. I do not have the athleticism or the muscle mass of Bryce Young. But just to relegate the height thing in your head, he's the same height as me.
That's bad.
It's not to say that it hasn't worked before. Drew Brees was a very short quarterback. Russell Wilson was a very short quarterback.
You can't say that.
You can't, and that's why, while he looks good, I don't think Carolina takes him at 1 because I don't think you can take that risk with the first overall pick.
You can't say that. You cannot. Drew Brees like that. Who else did you say? Russell. They both have rings. You cannot say that. Bryce Young is still a very young guy that has a very good potential if he does the right things at the right time.
Then you've got CJ Stroud, who is the prototypical type of NFL quarterback. He's
6'3".
A guy who stands in the pocket. He's 6'3", big arm, accurate. However, how much of his weaknesses were hidden at Ohio State when he played with 2 first-round caliber offensive tackles, 2 first-round caliber wide receivers, a future first-round caliber running back?
I don't want to hear
a great offensive head coach.
You know what I'm going to say? Coach O, Joe Burrow.
Yep.
I don't want to hear that because Joe Burrow, I'm not trying to compare the two. Joe Burrow had a whole bunch of heads on his team.
He did. However, Joe Burrow played in the SEC. Joe Burrow had to play Bama. Joe Burrow had to play the Southern teams down there.
Which is much better caliber, is my point.
Correct. Which is why I differentiate Burrow from Stroud in this case.
What league did Stroud play in?
Say again?
What league was Stroud in?
Stroud was in the Big Ten. He was at Ohio State. So the biggest team they played was Michigan. And their first week of the season, they played Notre Dame in a game where he did not look good. But then in the national championship semifinals, they played Georgia, who ended up winning the Natty.
Yeah, I remember.
In a very good game. So Stroud, I think he'll be the pick at 1. Then there's the ultimate wild card, which is Anthony Richardson out of Florida, who the only comp I've got for this kid is Cam Newton or Josh Allen. He is 6'5", 236, runs like a 4.48 40, has one of the biggest arms I've ever seen, but he has 12 total college starts in his entire career. Only 12 games played at the college level. So while he has every physical tool you could possibly want, he is incredibly raw.
You think he's going the first round?
He will definitely. Just talent alone will get him in the first round, but I'm very interested to see where he goes. If he goes to a team like, per se, Seattle, who has the 5th pick because they have Denver's pick, you pay Geno Smith, you let Richardson sit behind him for a year or two, or with the Lions, who have Jared Goff and they have the 6th pick, he sits behind Goff for a year.
I
or
would
two.
try to let him go to Seattle because honestly,
Apparently he and Pete Carroll gelled as soon as they met each other.
So one thing I'll say about Detroit, if you know this Detroit's play style and it has not changed in the past 20 years, and you can't say I'm wrong. They're not mobile with their quarterbacks at all.
No, they are big on pocket guys.
No. I'm gonna go past. I'm gonna say 30 years since Barry Sanders has been there. It's pocket quarterbacks and running the ball, and then occasionally when they got Calvin Johnson, when they took the risk. So let's change up the game a little bit. Let's throw him the ball.
And then you have Matt Stafford, who was a bit of a gunslinger, who not a mobile guy, but a guy who was just throwing it all over the place.
Pure athletic talent when it came to the arm.
Correct.
But honestly, he definitely goes first round. But without you telling me what the pure talent wise, I was like thinking about it. I'm like, I don't see him going first round, but if you tell me he's that talented, which I believe, because from my aspect of how I'm looking at it, right, you're taking a player that has all that athletic talent, but he has no real raw experience in the actual collegiate level, which is a true, like,
it's the epitome of boomer bust.
Yes, literally, that's what you really need. Yep. It's like a Kyrie situation because really think about it, he maybe played like 5 collegiate games and still went number 1. But luckily for him, he was still a bucket. But when it comes to football, it's a little bit different because when you go out there, when it comes to training camp, and then you go out there for preseason is really like, all right, you look good. Then we go to the actual first season in the game, and you're starting. Not saying he's gonna start, but you never know. Right. Until oh yeah, he's doing really good in the preseason. He did good in training camp. Like the way he gels with the team, we're gonna make him captain. We're gonna make him start him. And it was absolutely terrible. Then what? It's like.
Or even worse, he starts well, then all of a sudden the coaches all have film on him, give them a few weeks to get film on him, and then suddenly he gets picked apart. You know, you had another guy like Zach Wilson who had all the talent in the world, and he has ended up not really doing much of anything.
Please don't speak about that man in front of me.
But then you have a guy like, for example, Justin Herbert was viewed as a boomer bust guy coming out of college, and he completely boomed.
He's filth.
That's the other big NFL news is Jalen Hurts got his money.
Oh, we knew that.
5 years, 255.
255.
5 years, 255. I believe it's 189 guaranteed. Is the
you know what's crazy? I knew this was going to happen because he just went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, you had to. You had to. The guy, everybody loves him in that organization. He played so well this season, and he's still so young. And they actually paid him less than I thought they were going to. I mean, per year he got a ton, but guaranteed money was less.
It was less.
Longevity was less. Guaranteed money was less. However, he got a full no trade clause, which is the first one in Philly history, which is very interesting.
Very.
And the crazy part is how this puts the pressure now back on Lamar. Lamar turned down a very similar offer to what Hurts got.
When Baltimore?
Yes, Baltimore offered him $200 million guaranteed.
Are you staying in Baltimore?
He should. He's got OBJ now.
I want to end the show right now.
I'm sorry, I can't. And
He
then
said he
wait,
wanna come
speaking
back.
of your boy, because now this Hurts deal's happened. Guess who's up on the pay block next year?
Oh,
Joe Burr. He is a free agent next offseason.
come to New York.
Open
to
the
New
vaults,
York.
boys.
Come
Open
to New
the
York.
vaults.
Bring Jay Jettison. Bring
Herbert and
bring
Burrow
Jamar with
are
you.
free agents.
Who?
Herbert and Burrow
Oh, the
are
same
both
draft class.
free
That's
agents.
facts. Same draft class.
Herbert, Burrow, and to a lesser extent Tua will all be free agents next offseason. So
I'm
we can
sorry,
see
man.
major
That's foul.
quarterback
I'm
change.
so sorry, but I had to hit the little. That was foul. But anyway.
Oh my God, man!
See,
Oh my Lord!
I was out of pocket. That was very out of pocket.
This is a PG show.
He has CTE, man. You can't trust him, though, boy.
The poor guy. He just wants to play football, man.
He does, but like, I'm sorry, y'all can hear me. They can hear me. How are you gonna do him like that?
He's going to die.
Huh?
He's going to die.
Literally, you could tell, like basically in interviews, you could see his name was not all that there mentally. You're like, oh yeah, he's ready for the next game. Y'all playing, and what happens? This man gets lit up. Like, what are you guys doing? What really made you in your mind say, you know what, let's play Tua, even though we know, like, I don't know what was, whoever the doctor is needs their license revoked. All those years of college,
So
like, come
bad.
on, like, this man could literally be the future, and you just gave him CTE, like he's permanently done. Like his fingers were like he was making gang signs.
He had a full-on muscular paralysis from the hit, where he literally could not move.
He looked like this, like.
It's a nerve injury. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's from a concussion, basically. It's from getting too many hits to the head. But you know what? Let's end this show on a positive note. As of today, speaking of football injuries, Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin
He's back on the field.
He's cleared for football activities.
I still hate the Bills, but I like Damar Hamlin, so we're going to clap it up for him. And on that note, I'm out of here because I'm hungry and I got a lot of work to do. So it's been Double A Sports. Have a great, phenomenal evening. I hope y'all are doing your studies and getting ready to get ready for the end of the semester, making that final push. Fight through it. Fight through it. And if you need somebody to talk to, if you're down right now,
fight that good fight.
Fight
guys.
the good fight. And if you need somebody to talk to, if you're not feeling okay right now, just hit my gram. That's my name, Anthony Tuitt. Just DM me. Make sure just ask up. If you need any questions or any help, I got you. Just hit me up. On that note, have a great night, y'all. I'll see y'all maybe next week, depending on what my grades and what my not grades, what my homework and stuff is looking like, and what my tests is looking like, what the papers is looking like. I will be back in the stew, talking my talk about my favorite thing in the world, and that is sports. So have a great night, y'all. This is Anthony Tuitt, AVC. You know what to do.